Hey, welcome back. We are in Module 5, now part 2 of ranking, and we're about to get into some advanced stuff. In the last one, you might have been like, whoa, there's so many things that we can do after we've launched our video. And there's so many social signals and links that we can say, hey, YouTube, hey, Google, even if nobody's talking about your video. This is the funny thing about it. You're like, I'm talking about my video. But that's not the way YouTube and Google looks at it. They say, look, Twitter's talking about your video. Facebook's talking about your video. It's embedded on a blog, even if it's your blog. And a lot of people just don't put in the extra work, the extra few minutes, literally. Like, take the extra 30 minutes to do what nobody else is doing, and you're going to get the results that nobody else is getting. So now we're going to get into some advanced stuff, and this is backlinking. And so let's first look at like what is backlinking. We've got the men in black here talking about the advanced covert stuff. But ultimately, what backlinking is in SEO, search engine optimization, it's terminology. In a backlink, it's a hyperlink that links from a web page back to your own web page or website. It's also called an inbound link. And these links are important in determining the popularity or the rank or the importance of your website or video. So basically what a backlink is it's just a clickable link and an inbound link from somewhere else linking to your video. And so if your friend has a blog or if your friend sends a tweet and says, go watch and links to your video, that is a backlink. And on social media, they can be social signals, but on websites, if they're embedded on blogs and websites, they can be backlinks, and they help determine that, like, Google says, okay, based on how many backlinks it's gonna be one of the factors to determine how popular and important your video is and where it ranks. When we talk about SEO here, what we're ultimately talking about on YouTube is video SEO, optimizing our videos for search engine optimization for video. So this is kind of a picture of it. There's your video, and there's all these links coming into it from different places. It could be a blog over here. It could be a website that embeds your video because it teaches them how to do something and it's relevant. In fact, what's crazy is sometimes just how-to videos just get embedded on business websites because they're just so practical and they just use other people's content to help teach. And so you could get and even sell their own services. So you get backlinks from a lot of different places, and the amount of the links you get and the quality of the links you get pointing towards your video will help rank your video. And the key here is huge because we'll get into some stuff where there's ways to get a lot of backlinks, but it's not quantity per se, but it's also the quality. So if the Huffington Post embeds your video, or if you guest post on CNN.com, that carries so much weight towards your video. And it's not either or, it's both and, but it's the amount of backlinks and also the quality of the source that's actually linking to your video. So for advanced ranking tactics, we have two options. We have creating links or buying links. And the key here is we're not going to buy views. And maybe somebody's tried to say that before, like, hey, you can buy YouTube views. And that's not what we're talking about, and that's not going to add any value. But we're talking about the possibility of buying links, and we'll explain what I mean. But during this session, just something to say is you want to use this with caution, and it's not something that is dangerous or something, but it's just something that we want to use wisdom as we move into this space. And so a couple things, ways you could get backlinks. The first one would be like your video gets embedded on a trusted site. So if you put out some really good content, this should be all of our ambitions, is we want to get on BBC or the Huffington Post or even in a Wikipedia article as a trusted authority in a site like that. And that's something, Wikipedia is crowdsourced. So there's ways that you could create that yourself. If you had a relationship with bloggers, you can say, hey, I have a great video. I think it would add value to your blog. Would you like to do a post about it? That's going to get you a quality link just by asking. You could write guest posts and include your video. And there's tons of blogs that are always wanting content. So if you're teaching something practical, your video might be a good fit. And there's ways to just reach out to bloggers to be a guest writer and do a guest post. And that if that's a good authority blog, that's going to be a good backlink to your video, or you can also quote unquote buy backlinks. And so here's the thing. Imagine your friend has 50 blogs and maybe they're not all good, but he does. He's got 50 different blogs he's set up, and you could hire him to embed and link to your video on all 50 blogs. That would be 50 backlinks. And you could also do that manually for yourself. So if you, started creating 50 different Tumblrs and 50 different email addresses and all kinds of a variety of things, you could do this on your own, or you could outsource it. So when we talk about buying backlinks, you're kind of hiring your friend to say, hey, you've got all these sites. Will you link to my video from those sites? And this is an example of our own blog, like you already saw. And this video is embedded on our site. So if your friend had 50 blogs and then he embedded this video on 50 of his blogs, that would be essentially creating 50 backlinks. And so if you're going to buy links, you want to do not spam. That is the key here. And so the good is that the service that you might reach out to has a network of their own sites. The bad is that what they do is they send out spam comments with links. And so what that would be like is, and you might even see it on YouTube, you see, in fact, if you go on your YouTube and you go to your spam comments, you might find a lot of comments with links in them. And a lot of times that's like a bot or a machine that is just sending out links all over the internet, just trying to get links back to your video. That's spammy. Don't do that. But if somebody, again, they have their own, this is the key, they have their own network of sites. It's a friend who has their own sites. They can do what they want. Maybe they've got a site that is, they're embedding all kinds of different videos about tech, and your video gets embedded on that tech site. That's awesome. So you just got, a quality backlink there. So ways to do this is you can backlink outsourcing, and the easiest way to do this would be on Fiverr. And what you can do is read all the reviews and ratings, and then you can test and experiment. And so what you would do here is you could go to Fiverr.com, and you could type in something like video SEO, and you could see how to rank on YouTube. So there's one. And I will get any video on YouTube viral on social media. I will, and even the way that's worded seems kind of sketchy to me. But then you could do a couple things here. You can go based on high ratings. And so if they're getting good reviews, that is a good thing. And I'll show you one that I've tested before. And so Octal Systems here, I will manually embed and share your video in 75 plus blog posts. And this guy is, he has the sites himself. It's really high quality, and it's really great. And so this would be an example. There's your friend, Octal Systems. He's got 75 blogs. They're his. And what he's doing is he's just doing a service that adds to your video SEO. And, at this point you might be like, was this gaming the system? Here's the reality. It's not gaming the system. You cannot. Content is king. That's what always wins. But what this is doing is it's giving you the cutting edge. It's like adding fuel to the fire that you've already created. It's like if there's not a fire started, it doesn't matter how much gas you pour on the ground. Nothing's happening. But if a fire's already going, you can add gas to it, and you can reach out even further. And so that is an example of what you would do in Fiverr, and that is 1 gig. And I don't do this, hey Sean, what do you do? Do you do this on every video? No. Have you done this before? Yes. Has it worked? Yes. I've studied and watched videos go up in rankings as they're as I add to them with some backlinking. So it's something to test and experiment with. So on Fiverr, what they usually need is they'll need a link to your YouTube video. So in the example of that gig I just showed you, you give them a link to your YouTube video. They or we'll go to that in the next one. So on Fiverr, you're either going to link to a couple of different things. You might link to your YouTube video. you might link to your channel, or you also could link to a playlist link like we talked about. And in most cases, you're just going to give a link directly to your video. Then what they're going to ask for is the keyword phrases. And what they'll do is the blog titles will be just like as you begin to, in this course, learn video SEO and kind of the principles of SEO and why we're talking to Google in a well-optimized way. In this particular blog post, it says Lewis Howes interview on social media. What they would do is with the keyword phrases you give them, it would be keyword dash keyword, it would be that phrase. And so I hope that makes sense. What we'd be talking about is you give them the link to your video, and then you would say best camera for YouTube. And then you give them another phrase, video camera reviews, and you give them another phrase. And those would be just like on any of the videos that we want to do. It would be not all of our keyword phrases, but it would be like the top couple that we'd want to rank for. So you give them a couple of those, and then if they're going to embed it, you give them the embed code. So all you got to do with any of those gigs that you find on Fiverr, and there's a lot. You could experiment with this, and you could take this a lot farther probably than I ever have and really crush it, is you just read what they ask for. They'll give you a framework and tell you what to do. And if they're a high rated gig, then they'll be helpful, and you're chatting with a real person, and then you can kind of get into a system of figuring out what they need for each video. But that's usually what they're going to need. So kind of summing this up when it comes to backlinking is, first, less is more. And really, if somebody on Fiverr says, I will give you 25,000 backlinks to your video, and you just started your channel, you've got 10 subscribers, and your video has 4 views, Google's smart. It's always evolving. You can read that on the screen. That's not natural. And so at least in my thinking, all we're really trying to do is we're already delivering valuable content. We're already, putting out our stuff out there. We just want at times to add a little bit of a cutting edge to our videos. And so 75 blog post embeds or something like that, who, again, is somebody like your friend. And one of the things to put on here is this illegal? And here's something you got to know. It's not illegal, but people do debate if it's ethical. And so that's just something you got to know at this stage. And that's why I say proceed with caution and wisdom. Is it gaming the system? You have to ask yourself, think about it that way. If you said, hey, Sean, you have a service, you own 50 blogs, and you can, through video influencers, I could pay you to embed my videos on all your blogs. You'd just be paying me for a service. I own those blogs. I could do that. That's fine. That makes sense. Some people would say, oh, it's not. So that's totally up to you. Feel free to research it more. I think what it really comes down to is proceeding with caution and wisdom. And then also remember on there that quality is more important than quantity. Your very best strategy when it comes to is not leaning on this, but your very best strategy is creating such remarkable content that you do get on the Huffington Post, that you do get your content out there in your niche and you get known and you do guest posts. This is just another strategy, and I owe it to you because you invested in this course, and I want you to know everything that is possible, every tool that you have at your disposal to rank videos and to crush it, and to know what the ranking factors are and some of the options that are out there. So try this out, and the summary is, all other things being equal, consider this. The video with the most signals is going to rank higher. Even if you never do this module, but in the last one, I mean, is it fair to create your own Tumblr and make your, that you don't use? It's like, well, yeah, I mean, you're just putting in the time. You're putting in the hustle. So if your competition comes out with a 3-minute video and you come out with a 3-minute video, the content's the same, the watch time's the same, and even the optimization is the same, but they post it and then they ignore it, and you get on there and you just click all those buttons under the video and you share it on your networks, and you email your email list, all other things being equal, your video is going to rank higher because you've got more signals and you have more backlinks. And experiment and be safe with well-rated Fiverr gigs, and you will do great. All right. We did it. We actually have one more section in this third module on ranking, just summing it up, sharing some strategies. And so I can't wait to share this next. Don't miss this next one. This next one has got some incredible content on there. And thank you for, making it this far. And I hope you're starting to get pumped and you're starting to see like, whoa, there's a lot of tools that I can use that are really going to give me a cutting edge. When it feels like the internet's so big and the competition is so fierce, and that there's no way to break through and get noticed and get found online, you really have the opportunity because you're part of Video Ranking Academy. I'm going to give you the best stuff. These are the secrets, these are the tips, and this is the insider stuff that'll work if you work it. So keep going. Don't forget your why, and we are building your influence, your income, and your impact with online video, one module at a time. So I will see you in the next video.